You might want to plan some extra time if your morning commute takes you near the John Nolan Drive. Christina Laurie is going to have live updates as delays from the Midwest Horse Fair start showing up.
And there is a pill being developed here in Wisconsin that could help tens of thousands of women living with dementia here.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. It is Friday, April 12th, and on top of that, we do not have to be throwing everything but the kitchen sink in this forecast, and that is just a relief because I know I was driving a decent ways yesterday.
Yeah,
and that
it was
wind
so
nice.
windy. Yeah.
Windy and very wet, but
yeah.
I think we lucked out. We did not get the accumulating snow that parts of the upper Midwest saw. Parts of northwestern Wisconsin and the Twin Cities metro area, they are digging out again today. Looking a little encouraging as you look at the WISC-TV sky cam, showing a little bit of clearing here over the west side of Madison. Clearing is going to be pretty short-lived today. Clouds will fill in as we head through the morning hours. No precipitation, though, showing up on the radar map, which is great news. There is a chance for a few light showers or even some snow showers north and west of Dane County as this storm system moves into Canada today. It'll track right across the far northwestern corner of the state. So for most of us, mainly a dry day. It's still going to be windy, though. Southwest winds increase today, 15 to 25 miles an hour, gusting up to 40 miles an hour. Not quite as strong as they were yesterday, though, so no wind advisories are in effect. Temperatures, though, will still be a little on the chilly side with highs only in the middle 40s. Let's get a look at those traffic maps this morning. We'll show you what's happening on the area roads. No major delays showing up just yet on the Beltline or in the downtown areas. Looking around Dane County, travel on the interstate and all the major roads into Madison still looking pretty good. Let's zoom in, though, on the Alliant Energy Center and the John Nolan Drive area. No delays just yet, but you're likely going to see those delays start to increase as the morning goes on with the Midwest Horse Fair starting today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, starts today. Hundreds of exhibitors with their horses in tow are going to be headed to the Alliant Energy Center any minute now.
Just patience.
Right.
You'll get where you need to go. Just be patient.
Definitely. And Christina Laurie is actually live this morning outside of the Alliant Energy Center with more on those traffic delays. Christina, good morning.
Good morning. So I think we're going to call this the calm before the traffic storm. No backups yet, but the Dane County Sheriff's Department is expecting things to get so bad that they sent out a press release warning drivers of some major Beltline backups more than 48 hours in advance. So the best bet may be if you're not headed out here to the horse fair at the Alliant Energy Center, take another route to work altogether. John Nolan Drive and Rimrock Road will soon start to get extraordinarily congested, which deputies warned will last until noon. That congestion will cause delays on both the east and westbound Beltline. The Midwest Horse Fair is the largest three-day horse fair in the country, drawing 60,000 people here to the Alliant Energy Center every year. So in preparation, deputies will be out here directing traffic at the main gate, the Rimrock Road, Rusk Road intersection, as well as the John Nolan Drive, Rimrock Road intersection. There will also be more signs posted along the Beltline. But again, if you're not headed out here to the horse fair, you might want to find another way to get to work, or at least leave plenty of time to get there.
Yeah, horse trailers travel a little slower than normal cars. So just, yeah, pack that patience this morning with you. Christina Laurie reporting live from the Alliant Energy Center. Thank you, Christina.
Into the Channel 3000 Alert Center overnight. Police are looking into reports that a gun was fired on the far west side of town. Officers say it happened just after 10 last night. Around 6 shots were heard along Tree Lane, just off of Mineral Point Road there. Officers checked the area and didn't find any evidence or damage. There were no reports of injuries either. On the other side of town, 2 men are facing burglary charges after police say they tried to steal from a downtown music venue. Just after midnight this morning, an employee of the Sylvie called police about men trespassing inside that building on East Washington Avenue. When officers arrived, a 38-year-old and a 27-year-old were caught with items that belonged to the Sylvie. This morning, they're in the Dane County Jail.
One of the 4 men accused in a deadly home invasion on Madison's north side will learn how long he will spend behind bars today. 32-year-old Odom Carter pleaded guilty to a felony murder charge last year, admitting he was a party to the crime. Police believe the incident back in 2017 started as an armed robbery but ended with a 33-year-old man being shot and killed on Northport Drive. An armed robbery charge against Carter was dismissed but read in, which means the judge can consider the evidence for that charge in today's sentencing. That is set for 1:15 this afternoon. In Beaver Dam this morning, a teenager is safe after she was reported missing 5 months ago. Beaver Dam police have confirmed that 17-year-old Kirsten Duarte was found yesterday in that city. She had been missing since November 1st. Police are expected to file a criminal complaint in connection with this situation today, which could provide more information on her disappearance and what led up to her being found. We'll be sure to share that information as soon as we get it over on channel3000.com.
The U.S. transgender military ban officially goes into effect today, nearly 2 years after President Trump first tweeted about the idea. That new policy requires service members to adhere to the standards associated with their biological sex. People who feel their assigned gender doesn't match their identity no longer have the option to get a medical surgery to transition. And anyone who has received medical surgery or hormones related to their gender is barred from joining the military. Those who are already serving under the preferred gender before today will be grandfathered in under the Obama administration policy that allowed them to serve openly. There are currently 4 outstanding lawsuits claiming the ban is unconstitutional. Closer to home, the Wisconsin National Guard says it has recorded more than 50 reports of sexual assault between 2013 and 2017. Yesterday, the Guard's sexual assault response coordinator told reporters investigators have taken 52 reports during those years. The U.S. Air Force is also investigating allegations of sexual assault in the Guard, those dating back to 2002.
New this morning, 3 professors from the Milwaukee area are working on a pill that could help some women with dementia. The researchers say women are twice as likely as men to have Alzheimer's. Initially, the medication will focus on treating the symptoms of menopause, since the frequency and intensity of hot flashes has been correlated with dementia. Then the drug would ideally target memory loss symptoms. Right now, they are testing on mice, and then they plan to find a pharmaceutical partner to cover the millions of dollars it would take to fund clinical trials. One of the most well-known names running for the Democratic bid for president will be in Madison today.
Bernie Sanders is rallying at James Madison Park right around 5 p.m. Traffic in downtown Madison right around the evening rush hour will likely be impacted, particularly around East Gorham and East Johnson streets there. Doors open at 3:30. The public will be let in on a first-come, first-served basis.
The Vermont senator won the Democratic primary here in Wisconsin in 2016. His rally here in Madison is the first of 3 campaign events in battleground states this weekend. He'll stop at a community college in Michigan Saturday and then in Pittsburgh Sunday. Like he did in his last campaign, Sanders is running on a platform of universal health care and Medicare for all. He is the second Democratic candidate to visit Madison ahead of the primaries. Beto O'Rourke campaigned here last month.
You can catch our full coverage of the senator's visit and reaction to his message later today. Political reporters Rose Schmidt and Jessica Arp will both be live from James Madison Park all afternoon right here on News 3 Now. All right, 6:08 your time now. The green dye going into the Milwaukee River has the official okay from the DNR, so let the playoff celebrations begin. We're previewing what's to come in Game 1 against the Detroit Pistons.
There are some rain and snow chances if you're heading to Milwaukee this weekend. Necedah schools north of Boston are opening late this morning due to the weather. Gary is live with your forecast next on News 3 Now this morning.
I'm meteorologist Gary Canelti live at the Midwest Horse Fair at the Coliseum at the Alliant Energy Center. There's going to be horses here all weekend. In fact, they're already out behind me doing a little bit of practice. I was actually talking to one of the horse owners, and he was telling me how some of the horses, he could tell the weather just by the way the horses behave. So, you know, I didn't ask them specifically for the forecast, but I'm sure they probably aren't happy with what's going on right now. Now, first of all, let's take a look at the forecast for this weekend if you're coming down to the horse fair. Today will be a windy day. Generally, it'll be dry. There could be a few rain and snow showers, mainly north of Madison. Just a slight chance of that. High temperature eventually getting up to 44. Tomorrow will be the best day of the three with a high of 47 and partly sunny skies. But on Sunday, we're back to another chance for some rain and snow with high temperatures only in the upper 30s and a breezy and chilly day overall. Now, as we take a look at radar this morning, first winter weather advisories. There still are winter storm warnings and blizzard warnings to the north and west into parts of Minnesota and South Dakota. Winter weather advisories up into far northern Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. But generally, the worst of the precipitation is up to the north. You can see snow, rain off to our east, and we're kind of in a little bit of a dry slot. So the chances for precipitation here are pretty small, at least for the time being. Otherwise, as we take a look at the current condition, or a Doppler track in southern Wisconsin, you can see right now things are very quiet. The current conditions, live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, showing that it's on the cool side. Our temperature has dropped to 38. We still may drop a few more degrees before the temperatures start rising. Winds, though, out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour. The colder is actually kind of wrapped in from the southwest of the storm system. So even though we have a southwesterly wind, those temperatures are on the cold side. You can see the impressive comet shape of the storm with the rain off to our east and the snow up to our north. That's all heading to the north and east. And temperatures are pretty chilly in the northern portion of the Midwest. They're milder off to the east of us, but we're going to be on the cold side of the storm, at least for the time being. So as we check out our forecast, look for temperatures this morning to gradually drop into the mid-30s and then climb back into the lower 40s by around lunchtime with mostly cloudy skies, and it will be kind of windy. Our high temperature today topping out at 44, and again, just a slight chance for a rain or snow shower. For tonight, look for a low temperature of about 30 degrees. The skies turn partly cloudy. Tomorrow we'll be back up to about 47, and then as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures generally at or slightly below normal. Average high temperature should be in the mid-50s, and you can see upper 30s for Sunday, back to the 50s for much of the rest of the week, but there also will be some rain chances off and on in there. So again, we're at the Alliant Energy Center at the Coliseum. It'll be going on all weekend. Now let's take it over to Josh Tim. He has our traffic. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Moving well so far on the Beltline. No major issues with delays yet in either direction. Some of the other roads here in Dane County are starting to pick up. Brake lights on Verona Road and Stoughton Road approaching the Beltline ramps. No delays yet downtown around campus. Things will continue to get busier over the next hour or so. And other routes heading into Madison, they're still cruising along at the posted speeds with no major issues. Your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
So we're also here at the Midwest Horse Fair. I'm here with TJ and his very special guest, Alexa. They are part of the Mustang Challenge. So TJ, he lives in Deerfield now, but he's originally from Australia. Yes, how'd you get involved in this challenge?
Well, about 2008, I went in the first one. 2009 was here in Madison. 2010 was in Madison. And I've done 15 now. So this was my draw for this year.
So if people don't know, what exactly is the Mustang Challenge?
They give us a wild horse, a wild Mustang from out west, 90 days to train it, and then we come here for a competition. We got 3 classes, and then we see if we make the top 10 final.
So you've only known Alexa for 90 days?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What has been the most challenging part of this?
Well, the most challenging part was I got a new knee, so I missed the first 35 days. So she's only got about 50 days on it. So she's still a little bit nervous, but she's doing well. She's doing well.
And how are you feeling heading into tonight?
Well, I'm feeling all right. You know, a little nervous, but we'll get through it. You know, we'll get through it and hopefully make the final and have a good final.
And when is the final?
Saturday night at 7 o'clock. The top 10 will be in this arena here for the final.
And that's one of the big ticket events that people are coming out here for. We're expecting a lot of people here, 60,000 people throughout the weekend. Thank you so much for talking to us, TJ.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Alexa, as well. I'm sure she's been listening all along, but I'm going to send it back to you.
Leah and Danica.
Alexa giving us the side eye there. Very eyeball. It was so good.
Good luck to them. That's really exciting.
Man, that is very exciting.
Christina Laurie with the best assignment of the day. Thank you, Christina.
I don't think we need to bring a camera around Alexa anymore. All right. So from horses to deer, the Bucks start their long trek toward the NBA Finals this weekend, hoping to get past the first round of the playoffs for the first time in almost 20 years. The team is coming off a loss to Oklahoma City to end the season. Still, though, with the best record in the entire league and the top seed in the Eastern Conference, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been out with some injury concerns toward the end of the season, but he is expected to start in the playoffs. The Bucks' opponent, the Detroit Pistons, were 41-41 this season, so even-keeled, and finished 8th in the conference. They clinched that spot with a win over the Knicks Wednesday night. So this is a best-of-7 series to advance to the next round. Game 1 is against the Pistons at home at the Fiserv Forum. So tip is 6 p.m. on Sunday. Game 2 will also be played in Milwaukee on Wednesday, starting at 7 p.m. The next 2 games will be in Detroit, and then they'll go back and forth until one team wins 4. The winner of this series will face either the Pacers or the Celtics.
Then this week on For the Record, Mark Kane is sitting down with the vice president of the Milwaukee Bucks to talk about playoff excitement and look ahead to the Democratic National Convention coming to the Fiserv Forum. Senior Vice President of the Bucks, Alex Lasry, explains what the DNC committee liked most when they visited Milwaukee.
One, they said, like, this is probably the nicest arena that we've seen around. But I think really what they loved was the, how compact the city was, especially the downtown, how easy it is to navigate. When they came in August, the weather was great. They loved also, I think, really the local restaurant scene. And I think what they really are looking for is, for 4 days, people are living here. And even before that, staff is coming in to live here. And I think what they were able to see was this is a place that people are going to be happy.
Really fascinating conversation there, and you can get the rest of it Sunday morning on For the Record. That's happening right here on News 3 Now at 10:30.
Yeah, but really what we're really looking forward to is this playoff run, because hopefully it will be a long one. Again, the best record in the NBA. Giannis just got his 4th Player of the Month of the Eastern Conference, and there's only 6 months in the season, so do the math. Yeah. So it's a good year for the Bucks, and I'm really crossing my fingers on this one. I think the entire city of Milwaukee is. Perhaps the entire state of Wisconsin.
Good excuse to get down to Milwaukee. Check out that Green River, too.
Yeah, if you can scalp some StubHub tickets, though. They're getting a little pricey.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, but
out of my price range.
If you can, definitely. What a cool opportunity. All right, 6:19 right now. For any fans of Tom Hanks in Big, you might want to check out what happens when the reverse sorcery is applied. A bossy business lady is sent straight back to her tween years in Little, and Will is bringing his sassiness to the set for his preview of Little after the break.
Oh, yeah, and even though we might be dodging a little bit of raindrops today, at least we're back in the mid-40s for our high temperature. Patty's First Alert forecast is coming up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning from the News 3 Now First Alert Weather Center. Starting in Platteville this morning with a view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Looking a little ominous with cloudy skies in the area. Not a lot of sunshine in our forecast today, but definitely not as much precipitation. So I guess that's the good news. Here's a look at Weather Track, which is satellite and radar combined. All of the rain has moved off to the east. There has been a little bit of clearing at times this morning, but those any breaks that develop in the clouds fill back in pretty quickly. So we're dealing with mostly cloudy skies. Slight chance for a few light rain or snow showers in our far northwestern viewing area today. Still, it's going to be a chilly day. Temperatures are starting out in the 30s at this hour. 38 now in Madison, 36 in Mineral Point, 35 in the Dells. Your bus stop weather forecast today has temperatures only climbing a few degrees to highs in the mid-40s this afternoon. Quite a few clouds, but most areas staying dry. Have a wonderful Friday.
Thank you very much, Addie. Okay, so last week we saw a 14-year-old turning into an adult in Shazam, and this week the opposite transformation is going to happen.
The body switcheroo comedy is called Little, and here with the preview is our film critic, Will Loper. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. As you know, when we're young, all we want to do is grow up, but once we're adults, we just want to go back to a life without bills, a job, and really any adult responsibility at all. Well, maybe that's just what I'd like.
Nope, I'm with you, Will.
Okay, good. Here's a look at Little.
Excuse me?
Taking the boss ladies on a warpath this morning.
I'm money. I got money.
Every morning.
No! Ding dong! Ding dong!
Regina Hall plays businesswoman Jordan, who gets reverted by magic back to her 13-year-old self, presumably to learn some important life lessons.
I wish you were my age. Then I'd check you, boo. I wish you were little. I told you, watch it.
Black Jesus.
Little is rated PG-13.
Your body can't fit into my clothes. This is squats. This is Pilates.
That body looks like Baby Gap, Gymboree, Oshkosh Bagosh to me.
Fine.
That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, I like that.
How are the reviews looking for this one?
They're kind of mixed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying the performances are great, especially by Marcia Martin, the girl who plays the younger version of Regina Hall. But the story they're saying is kind of, we've seen this before. Right. I mean, this is just reverse big, but still we're seeing for those performances and a few laughs.
Could be fun.
Yeah, it's reminding me a little bit of 13 going on 30, too.
Yeah, just in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
30 going on 13, yeah.
You'll be in Monday with a review?
I sure will, that's right.
Cool. Awesome. We'll see you then. Thanks, Will.
Thanks, guys.
All right, 6:25, your time now. Traffic might be a little bit crazy. Understatement there. Near the Alliant Energy Center this morning for the start of the Midwest Horse Fair. Our Christina Laurie is going to have live coverage.
And Foxconn will have a home base in downtown Madison. We expect to learn more about that new facility a little later today. The day's top stories are next on News 3 Now this morning. Investigators in Rock County are working to determine how a dating app played a role in armed robberies earlier this year.
And the cones are already up. You could expect major traffic backups and delays around the Alliant Energy Center this morning. We're live from the Midwest Horse Fair with what to know before you hit the road.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the final half hour of News 3 Now this morning. You made it to Friday, April 12th, and you are being rewarded, sort of, with
Close enough.
I mean, after yesterday,
right.
You can only go up,
We'll
right?
take it.
That's true, yeah. Not as bad. I guess that's what you can call today.
Yeah.
It certainly doesn't feel like April outside, but it won't be as wet as it was yesterday. Let's take a live look from the WISC-TV Skycam. Last time we looked at this camera shot, we saw a little bit of clear sky, but it looks like that has already filled in. So mostly cloudy skies on the west side of Madison and across most of southern Wisconsin this morning. Every now and then a few holes develop in the cloud cover, but they quickly fill in. So our chances for sunshine, not good today. There really isn't a lot of precipitation headed in our direction, although there may be a few light rain or snow showers that move through our northwestern viewing area through the day. Temperatures starting in the upper 30s this morning, climbing to highs only in the mid 40s this afternoon. That's about 10 degrees cooler than it should be for this time of the year. Southwesterly winds will be increasing as well. It'll be almost as windy as it was yesterday, with those winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour at times this afternoon. Now let's get a look at those first alert traffic maps this morning. A wide view around Dane County will show you that things are pretty quiet still so far. No issues or accidents to report around the area. We'll zoom it into the Alliant Energy Center though, and the John Nolan, Rimrock area. No major delays showing up just yet, but I would expect those delays to increase over the coming hours as the Midwest Horse Fair starts today. In fact, let's send it over to Christina, who's at the Alliant Energy Center. She has all the details on the traffic for today.
Hi, Hattie. So we've been bouncing in and out of the Alliant Energy Center this morning, and every time we come back out here, there are more police cars, flashing signs, cones in anticipation of a really messy morning commute. The best bet may be to try to avoid the John Nolan Drive and Rimrock Road exits off the Beltline altogether, but the entire Beltline is expected to get extraordinarily crowded. Traffic is expected to get so bad, in fact, that the Dane County Sheriff's Department actually sent out a press release nearly 48 hours ahead of time warning drivers of backups, which will affect drivers again heading both on the east and westbound Beltline starting now and running until noon both today and tomorrow. The annual Midwest Horse Fair draws around 60,000 people to the Alliant Energy Center every year, making it the largest three-day horse fair in the country. 300 clinics, seminars, and educational talks are presented by some of the top horse professionals from across the country. You heard from one of them in just the past half hour. More than 500 exhibitors will also be here offering items for sale, and deputies will be out here, as I mentioned, directing traffic at these intersections. There will also be more signs posted along the Beltline. So if you have to use that way to get to work or out here to the horse fair, please leave some extra time. Back to you.
Yeah, that is the sound advice of the morning for sure. Christina Lurie reporting live from the Alliant Energy Center. Thank you, Christina.
In the last 5 years, Wisconsin has lost 50 people to work zone crashes on our roads, and that's just a fraction of the thousands injured during those crashes. That's why the Dane County Board of Supervisors passed a resolution to make this week Work Zone Awareness Week. That happened last night. They're urging people to drive like you work here, meaning slow down and move over for workers and law enforcement working on the roadways. Sheriff Dave Mahoney says he will back that resolution up with stricter enforcement of those laws in the coming months. In Columbia County, the Sheriff's Department is reminding everyone about the dangers of drinking and driving after they say a teenager crashed a car with other people inside while under the influence. In a release, the sheriff said a 17-year-old was arrested for operating while intoxicated, as well as operating without a valid driver's license and causing great bodily harm after he lost control and hit a utility pole with 3 others in his car. 2 of those passengers were taken to the hospital. Investigators believe those teens were underage drinking.
New this morning, the Rock County Sheriff's Department is investigating armed robberies that involved dating apps. Now, the Janesville Gazette's reporting detectives gathered information from a smartphone they obtained in a search warrant affidavit. Officials say a couple different apps were used to lure victims to driveways in rural areas for fake meetups earlier this year. That includes Grindr and Scout. Now, those victims were threatened and robbed. 2 teens were named in the affidavit and have been charged with armed robbery of a Janesville business, but officials are continuing to look into these robberies.
New this morning, Foxconn is set to announce an opening of an innovation center in downtown Madison later today. In a release, the group said it will make that announcement in partnership with the BMO Financial Group. That Taiwanese tech company has already announced centers for Green Bay, Eau Claire, and a headquarters in Milwaukee. The Secretary of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation and the Vice Chancellor of University Relations are also expected to be at today's announcement. That's happening at the Monona Terrace at 11:30 this morning. More local news now. Wisconsin has the go-ahead on 2 solar farms that will more than quadruple the state's solar capacity. The Public Service Commission approved those projects unanimously yesterday. One farm near 2 Rivers will have a 150 megawatt capacity, and the other will go up in Iowa County with a 300 megawatt capacity. Together, those projects are expected to produce nearly enough energy to power 120,000 homes for a year. According to the Citizens Utility Board, Madison Gas and Electric and the Wisconsin Public Service Corporation plan to pay a combined $390 million for a portion of that facility's power.
Midwest Express Airlines is taking the next steps toward bringing its warm chocolate chip cookies back to the skies. The company announced yesterday it has leased space for a new corporate headquarters at Mitchell Airport in Milwaukee. The airline began operations back in 1984 in Milwaukee, and it flew to dozens of U.S. cities until it was purchased by Frontier in 2010 as a result in part of rising oil prices. Next time you take the kids to the Henry Vilas Zoo, Dane County will officially be in charge of operations there. Last night, supervisors did finalize plans to fund positions that were once paid for through the Zoological Society. They also approved a contract with a new vendor to run concessions at the zoo. Only 2 supervisors oppose the county taking full control of that facility after a months-long controversy between the nonprofit and the county. The Zoological Society was the zoo's main fundraising organization, but county leaders have promised visitors will see no disruption in services and attractions there.
All right, 6:36 your time now. If your kids are big Disney fans, the company's coming out with a new streaming service to compete with Netflix.
We'll tell you more about that. Plus, the feds are warning all of us about a scam call making its rounds, claiming your social security number is being used to transfer money to other countries. That story is straight ahead here on News 3 Now this morning. All right, so Chuck shared this picture on Facebook over from the Arboretum. I'm imagining this is a little while ago, but it looked like a painting, so I just had to share it and remind everyone, once again, things will get warmer. At least we're told they will be.
Well, at least we hope this was from a while ago, too.
Yeah, right?
Thank you so much for sharing, Chuck. It's a gorgeous picture. What does your morning look like? Take a picture, post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter, and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning so Danica and I can find and share our favorites right here on the program. Okay, so Disney is getting ready to take on Netflix and Amazon with their very own streaming service. Disney Plus will offer a handful of new TV shows, new movies like Captain Marvel, along with some classics like Snow White. With the company's recent acquisition of Fox's entertainment business, National Geographic is also going to be available on the streaming service. That's scheduled to launch in the U.S. on November 12th at a monthly price of $6.99, less than Netflix.
Yeah.
That is much cheaper also than the new monthly rate for YouTube TV subscribers. The Google-owned company says it's hiking the price to $49.99 a month. That's a $10 increase. In a statement, YouTube says the change is needed to bring customers the best service possible. They'll be adding channels owned by the cable network Discovery, as well as the Oprah Winfrey Network. A lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
All right, 6:40 your time now. The Federal Trade Commission is warning people of a nationwide phone scam, raising concerns about Social Security numbers.
That's right. Millions of people are receiving these calls. A caller claiming to be from the U.S. Social Security Administration told this man, Wayne Shurtoff, that someone in El Paso, Texas, was using his name and Social Security number to send thousands of dollars to Mexico and Colombia. In order to get rid of what the caller claimed to be a warrant out for his arrest, the man was tricked into buying $1,400 worth of Google Play cards at the store and then reading the numbers off back to the caller. This scam, by the way, has already cost 76,000 people $19 million over the past year.
This is no joke, and it happens a lot, especially to older people who, might not be as familiar that this sort of a thing is clearly a scam.
And now, I mean, these people on the other end sound so
professional,
real, and
yeah.
it sounds like a real threat. So yeah, definitely have your guard up, folks. Hang up if you have any questions.
A really important warning there. All right, tomorrow we're going to get a little break from the rain and snow combination, but until then, some of us might have to dodge some more raindrops and brace for strong winds yet again today. Your first alert forecast is coming up.
First, it is April 12th. We want to say happy birthday to Brentley, and all the kids turning 3 today. Thanks so much for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning. Taking a live look right now in Platteville from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Cam. Things very cloudy there, and it's going to remain that way across the area for most of the day. Let's turn it over to Gary Canalti. He is live from the Alliant Energy Center this morning with your forecast. Hey, Gary.
Good morning, Danica. Well, you know, I'll tell you, if you're worried about the elements, come on down to the Midwest Horse Fair at the Alliant Energy Center and the Coliseum, because the Coliseum is going to have horse stuff going on all the time this weekend. And a lot of the stuff is inside, also inside the exhibition hall, some things for horse lovers there. So there will be plenty of things to do inside. If we take a look at the forecast, better than yesterday, but not great. It'll be windy, it'll be chilly, a high temperature of 44. There might be a slight chance of a rain or snow shower. Tomorrow will probably be a better day with a high of 47 and partly sunny skies. And then Sunday we're back to some rain and snow showers and a high of only 39 and breezy conditions, so that will be kind of chilly. We do have the statewide tornado drill today. It was postponed from yesterday, so just be aware of that this afternoon. Take a look at Doppler track. You can see most of the rain and snow now lifting to the north and east of Madison. So while there could be a stray rain or snow shower, most of the day I think will be dry. But the temperatures will be on the cool side. In fact, as we take a look at the current conditions right now, our temperature it's actually pretty chilly. We're down. We've been in the upper 30s for the last couple of hours. We're at 38 degrees right now with mostly cloudy skies. The winds are out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour, but those winds will pick up as the day goes along. Now, as we take a look at satellite and radar, you can see the impressive storm system, the western and northern part of the storm. There's been a blizzard going on through the Dakotas and northern Minnesota. There's been severe weather down to the south with showers and thunderstorms going from Indiana all the way down to the Gulf Coast. But as this whole system lifts to the north and east, you can see the colder air definitely is to the west of us. Temperatures in the 20s and 30s here. The mild air is to the east. So unfortunately, we're going to stay on the cool side for a while. Our forecast calls for temperatures this morning to maybe drop a couple more degrees to the mid 30s and then start climbing back to the lower 40s by lunchtime. This afternoon, mostly cloudy, breezy, just a slight chance of a rain or snow shower. High temperature topping out at 44 degrees. Tonight, skies will turn partly cloudy. Low temperature will drop to around 30 degrees, and then we'll look for partly sunny skies tomorrow with a high of 47. The 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures at or slightly below normal. Average high temperature should be in the middle 50s. Only 47 for tomorrow and 39 for Sunday, but then those temperatures mainly in the low to mid 50s, maybe some upper 50s in there. Also some chances for rain showers. And as we take a look at Pet Walk for this morning, oh, that kitty is just, Mischief is just, that she's got the right idea there. Those temperatures for today will be up to about 44 with mostly cloudy skies, kind of windy, so Mischief has the right idea to stay warm. But again, if you're interested in horses, come on down to the Alliant Energy Center in the Coliseum, because there's a lot of stuff going on even inside as well.
Gary, you get your fill of those horses, then maybe you can follow Mischief's lead, take a little nap in about an hour.
I think Mischief has the right idea. I may join her.
All right. Thank you, Gary.
Morning Sprint's coming up next right here on News 3 Now this morning. 6:51, time for the morning sprint. Addie says it's another gloomy, windy day before the sun peeks out tomorrow.
But we start with Christina Laurie watching for traffic delays as the Midwest Horse Fair starts up. Hi, Christina.
Good morning. If your morning commute takes you along John Nolan Drive, Rimrock Road, the Beltline, or really anywhere near the Alliant Energy Center, you might want to find a different way to go. The Midwest Horse Show is in town, bringing plenty of traffic along with it. It's the largest three-day horse fair in the country, drawing around 60,000 people here to the Alliant Energy Center. Brings plenty of traffic, too. As we mentioned, the Dane County Sheriff's Department warns drivers both the east and westbound Beltline will be backed up from now until noon, both today and tomorrow. The 40th annual Midwest Horse Fair runs through Sunday.
Thank you, Christina. 2 men are facing burglary charges after police say they tried to steal from a downtown music venue. Just after midnight, an employee called police about men trespassing inside the Sylvie on East Washington Avenue. When officers arrived, a 38-year-old and a 27-year-old were caught with items that belonged to the Sylvie. They are in the Dane County Jail this morning.
Rock County deputies are investigating how dating apps may have played a role in multiple armed robberies. The Janesville Gazette reports detectives gathered information from a smartphone that showed dating apps like Grindr and Scout were used to lure victims into driveways in rural areas for fake meetups. 2 teens were named in that affidavit and have been charged with an armed robbery of a Janesville business, but officials are continuing to look into the robberies.
Beaver Dam police have confirmed that 17-year-old Kirsten Duarte was found yesterday in that city. She had been missing since November 1st. Police are expected to file a criminal complaint in connection with that case today, which could provide more information on her disappearance and what led up to her being found.
And no severe weather threat for today, so the statewide tornado drill will go on. At 1 p.m., a test watch will be issued. 1:45, a test tornado warning issued, and then at 6:45 p.m. this evening, another test warning issued, so you can make sure that you are prepared for severe weather season. Again, things are going to be pretty quiet today, but cloudy and windy. We have just a lot of clouds across southern Wisconsin. Chances for light rain and snow, mainly north and west of Madison. Our temperatures today will still be on the cool side, even despite a southwest wind around 20 to 25 miles an hour. High temperatures only in the middle 40s.
Thank you, Hattie. The U.S. transgender military ban officially goes into effect today, nearly 2 years after President Trump first tweeted about the idea. That policy blocks sex reassignment surgery and bans anyone who's already received transition surgery or hormones from joining. Those who are already serving under their preferred gender before today will be grandfathered in under the Obama administration policy that allowed them to serve openly.
Georgetown University could be one of the first major U.S. institutions to create a reparation fund. A significant majority of undergraduates voted in favor of establishing a fund for descendants of slaves that the university once sold to pay off its debts. That referendum calls for a fee of $27.20 per semester to go toward that fund. It's to make up for the Jesuit-organized sale of 272 slaves back in 1838.
3 Milwaukee area professors are working on a pill that could treat dementia in women after menopause. The researchers say women are twice as likely as men to have Alzheimer's disease. Initially, that medication will focus on treating the symptoms of menopause, since the frequency and intensity of hot flashes is correlated with dementia. Then the drug would ideally target memory loss symptoms.
Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders will be at James Madison Park around 5 p.m. to rally today, so traffic downtown in Madison will be probably even more backed up for the evening commute. Doors open at 3:30 for that event. The public will be let in on a first-come, first-served basis. Sanders did win the 2016 Democratic primary here in Wisconsin.
Foxconn is about to announce a new innovation center coming to downtown Madison later today. The Taiwanese tech company has already announced centers for Green Bay, Eau Claire, and a headquarters in Milwaukee. That announcement will be made in partnership with the BMO Financial Group at 11:30 today at the Monona Terrace.
Next time you take the kids to the Henry Vilas Zoo, Dane County will officially be in charge of the operations there. Last night, supervisors finalized plans to fund positions that were once paid for through the Zoological Society. They also approved a contract with a new vendor to run concessions at the zoo. County leaders have promised that visitors will see no disruption in services or attractions there after taking over for the nonprofit.
As soon as she got over being scared of me and realized I wasn't a predator or a scary person, she's all over me.
Madison police officer Alyssa Palmer and her horse, Calamity Jane, will be taking part in the Midwest Horse Fair's Mustang Challenge. The Palomino filly from Nevada was captured because there are far too many wild horses in that area. Alyssa brought her home to spring green back in January, and like 50 other competitors, she had 90 days to gain her trust and make her adoptable in time for this weekend's competition.
May want to giddy up a little sooner rather than later for the Midwest Horse Fair. Let's turn it over to Josh Tim with another check of traffic. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Starting to pick up on the westbound side of the Beltline. A few brake lights between Stoughton Road and West Broadway. And I would plan on slowdowns all around the Alliant Energy Center now through the weekend. The Midwest Horse Fair going on. Lots of extra people in that area. If you can, definitely take another route. Something that just happened. Looks like there is a crash on I-94. Not sure if it's east or westbound. It is near the Cottage Grove exit. Just happened. You might want to look for delays in that area. But other routes heading into Madison, they're cruising at the posted speeds with no issues. For your First Alert Traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you, Josh.
Is a cloudy view from the Edgewater Sky Cam looking at the Capitol here this morning in Madison. Temperatures are in the 30s early today, but will only climb a few degrees back into the mid-40s. Cloudy skies for the area. There is a chance for a few light rain or snow showers, mainly north and west of Madison. Here's a look at that weekend forecast. Saturday looks a little better with dry weather. There's a chance for rain and snow on Sunday.
Enjoy your weekend, folks. We'll see you back here Monday.